Okay, so what we're doing today is sword and buckler for either cut and thrust or heavy. Pretty much everything that I do translates easily between the two fighting disciplines. The most important thing is that you have to have the mindset this is not a shield. You're not going to do a whole ton of passive blocking with this. You can do active punch blocking with it, and you can use it as a tool. So for example, if I throw a quick reverse snap cut at Gilbert, he parries it with his sword. The buckler then comes in and muddles up the sword to allow the finishing blow. Or if he were to throw a blow at me, I catch on the sword, replace it with the shield, and then we're in where I want to be. What I don't want to do is square off like this and wait for you to throw at me, and then hopefully block. Because let's say he pumps high and strikes my leg. Yeah, if I bite on a feint with this buckler, the odds of me getting it back down in position are very low. So use this as more of a tool for offense and defense than as a shield to block with. So for sword and buckler as a stance, primarily I favor a sword foot forward guard for this because you want the extra range with this. With shield foot forward, no matter what stance you're using, you have less range. I can't really hit Gilbert from here, but sword foot forward, putting my foot at the same place, that's the sweet spot. So we use mostly sword foot forward and sword and buckler. And the primary guards that we use, this one is called half shield. This is out of I-33. That's one of my favorites. It's a very strong defensive guard. It presents my sword out and forward, and I can throw a lot of cuts from here. I can throw a reverse snap offside. I can throw a flat snap. I can shift into a Molinet, or a pump fake and rising grass cutter thrust. There's a lot that you can do from here, and it's also a really good counter punch guard. So as soon as Gilbert attacks, either way, as soon as he attacks, I'm then ready to move in and I control the fight from here. So anything we can do to get that buckler on the opponent's sword is a good thing. So this is a really good defensive board. So Gilbert's going to go ahead and demonstrate. And with this one, we actually want a sword step high, up high, and your buckler is essentially protecting your sword hand. What this does is, first of all, it gives you a passive defense against cuts from above, and as soon as you feel that cut make contact, you replace it with the buckler, and then, exactly. And another thing it does, the reason why we like a high tip for it instead of low, is that you're trying to throw cuts from there. It's not harder to throw cuts if you have a point forward guard. And pretty much my whole style for cut and thrust revolves around being able to throw those attacks easily. Even when we single sword, I actually like to be in this guard, because from here I can do the same quick snap thrusts, but I can also throw a Molinet from there. I can throw there, offside leg. So for cut and thrust, I want us to get the idea of being in a stance that lets us go directly into a cut. So if I throw a Molinet at Gilbert, all he has to do, catch him the sword, replace it with his shield as his sword hand comes back, and then cut maybe to my offside. Yeah, that's be hard for me to stop. Or cut into my sword side leg. That's be hard to stop. But the whole idea, use the buckler to control the fight. Okay, so that's half shield. My other favorite for sword and buckler, this is called underarm. In some fight manuals, you'll see it presented out forward like this. I actually like it all the way sheathed back here. The reason for that, you can get more angle cuts out of it than you can from here, especially when you use this in heavy. I'm not getting anybody to take a shot coming from there, but if someone throws at my head, I have a much better chance. I can definitely get him to take that shot right in the armpit. So this looks like a really stupid guard to be in, right? Because my head is wide open. And it is. The whole idea behind it is that I know my head is wide open. So as Gilbert cuts into obvious head opening, I do what's called falling under the shield in I-33 or Talhofer. The shield comes up and out, and you throw the cut under the shield. And you kind of, I'll take a low lunge as I throw this. All right, I want us to form a line, and let's walk through this, okay? Gilbert, you can use my buckler for this. All right. So, sword in a sheath position. Buckler hand right on top, exactly. Now, I'm going to swing in your obviously open hand. You're going to fall under your shield as you take a step this way and cut into my offside. Good, good. See how quickly that comes with your body dropping and your shield rising at the same time? Yep. All right, Tiberius. All right, we're going to pretend that's a buckler.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw a shot at your head. You fall under and cut. Yes. Good, good. All right. Yeah, sword is sheath, buckler hand is forward, as forward as you can present it. It gives you a better chance of getting it up in time. You fall under it. That's it. Good. Thorgrim, these are my favorites. Nice, nice. Notice how he took a nice deep compass step. The deeper of a step you can take, the better a chance you have of sinking that shot. So that's a very good way to do it. All right, Alice. Yep, yep, good. Okay, so there's some variations that you can do with this technique. One of them that I like is I throw the same shot with the back of my blade. So cut of my head. Look how I let my hand just extend and cut with the back of the blade. That gets a different angle and it's harder to defend against, and still gets enough zip to have some power on it. Another one that I like, as he throws to my head, is a quick thrust to the ribs or the armpit. It's just like that back blade cut that I showed you, except you extend it into the thrust. And then finally, you get fancy with it if you want. You could go into, for example, falling into the shield, thrust to Molinet. But that's basically all there is for underarm. What you have to watch is for your opponent to fake a shot in your head and throw it your leg. Yeah. So or arm. So be ready with your sword to go into. If it's a fake, be ready to adjust your shot into a parry and a bind with the buckler, and then end it. Okay. Like in longsword, we have the middle guard or long point. You have this in sword and buckler too, where basically your buckler is out here in front, creating a cone of defense, and your sword is back with your hip, or even further out. I like it back here at the hip better, because although your range is shorter, you can do a lot more. You can initiate a lot more attacks. So if I'm in long point, I have good control of the center line here. I might start off with a thrust to a Molinet. I might start off with a thrust to an offside. But there's a lot that you can do from this guard. So let's go ahead and run away.
Well done. Point control.
Thankfully we have swords. So. Let's go ahead and try a couple things from that guard. Just kind of experiment with it, get comfortable with it. Good. So we're going to attack. Yeah, from long point. Yeah. Throw an attack and see what that opens up for you. Yeah, you go right into offside from there. Try using your buckler with your attack. So as soon as the contact's made, do something with the buckler. So attack. Nice, nice. Again. Good, good. You see what he's doing is that as soon as I make that parry, he immediately closes in with the buckler to control my sword. All right, Els. See how that long point feels? Kind of try a couple things with it. You can start with thrust, start with a cut. Nice, nice. You blocked my arm right out of the fight. Again. Yes. See how that snaps right over? If your opponent pushes your sword that way, that's a perfect invitation to go for that offside cut. Good. Thorgrim? Yeah, with the long blade, you can get away with a lot that it opens up. Yeah, good, good. See, I had to over parry to stop your thrust to that range, and you're able to go right into the cut. curious. Good, good. He went for a low thrust to a rising Molyneux. Excellent. Being able to use that opening thrust to kind of manipulate and control what your opponent's doing, or even just freeze their offense for a second, makes a huge difference. So, I know we've covered a few different topics here. Let's do a brief recap. We have half shield. Controls the center line, gives a lot of opportunities for cuts, as well as the snap thrust, and opportunities for counter punching. Anything that Gilbert throws, I'm prepared to pick up my sword, place it with the buckler, and do something nasty. Underarm, falling under the shield. I leave the obvious opening in my head. He attacks it. We have a great counter punch there that can go into lots of different combos. And then finally, long point, a good offensive opener. I start with a thrust as he parries it. We control the sword and strike. So there's just a few fundamentals that work very well in either heavy or cut and thrust for sword and buckler. And I think that's a pretty long lesson there. You guys got stuff to work on. So why don't we go ahead and call it there.